On ESPN, presented by our official climate finance partner, Aspiration. Tonight's second game of a twin bill should be a beauty. From USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland, Team Marino and Team Bosco set to rumble here in week number 3. Plenty of fun and games with Athletes Unlimited. 56 are the best on the planet, chasing the individual crown. They're divided into 4 ever-changing teams from week to week, and the leaderboard sets the wheels in motion for dramatic flips and flops overall. A very pleasant welcome to you, along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. When you see these two captains match up, what's the biggest difference between them?
You know, you have to look at the experience. Bosco, fresh on the table. This is the very first time she has been a captain, and she is just a rookie. So you have to give the edge to the captain with experience, and Taylor Marino is at the very top. It's
time for us to remind you who's boss this week. When we finished matters last weekend, these were the 4 entrusted with a captain's title.
Taylor Marino, Sam Apuzzo, nothing has changed there. Those two are consistently captains each and every week, wearing the gold and orange. Katie Glynn is new this year, but she is known for being a captain in past years, so she knows what it's like. Abby Bosco, again, the new kid on the block, so she's going to have to rely on others on her team who have done this before.
Taylor Marino put on a show through 2 weeks, the likes we've never seen, already surpassing 1,000 points and doing it in style.
Listen, Taylor Marino is incredibly smart. She knows that her main job is to save the ball, first and foremost. But the next part about being a quality goalkeeper is being able to spark an offense. She has incredible outlet passes, but she causes turnovers by knocking down passes that are going from goal line extended all the way to the middle.
Another Taylor should provide a boost at the offensive end. Vanthof shoots rockets.
Taylor Vanthof, she's so very smart on the field. She has a very slick stick. I like how she feels her way through the defense. She's somebody who has a range to shoot power shots or finish in tight, so very versatile as an attacker.
No rookie stage fright jitters for Abby Bosco. Her defensive prowess has helped her steadily climb the leaderboard.
28 draw controls, that is a lot. She is spark plug off of that line. She gets off of it quickly. She's able to get some hustle plays like ground balls, but then she has some caused turnovers, and 9 for the season. It's her ability just to get on the hands of her attacking players. She is very spunky, and you like to watch her, what she does on that defensive end.
Kenzie Kent was a major mover all over the field last week. She can spark an offense in a split second.
Kenzie Kent, offensively, she is so creative, whether it's in tight around the crease, cutting for the ball, or she can generate on her own. I attribute that to the multiple sports she played growing up, as well as a dual sport athlete in college. She is so fun to watch.
Fantastic around the goal. Folks, the players want to bring you into the game early and often. Charlotte North is wearing a mic for us tonight and has been all season long. Charlotte, we appreciate your cooperation. What's going to be necessary to spark the offense this time around?
Oh, we're looking to play 6-woman offense today, utilize both our players at X and our middies up top. Everybody in this league is so talented, so it's all about a game of inches, beating your matchup by inches, causing a mismatch. All that confusion in the defense is where we're going to capitalize tonight.
Charlotte, I see a lot of players in the gold uniforms again. Is that a spark on the field for you guys, the fact that you've been able to play together now a couple weeks in a row?
100%. I think we're really excited to have some of the same teammates from last week, and Taylor's an amazing leader out there, an amazing captain, so we're just pumped to be on her team this week.
Charlotte, thanks very much for the help. We'll be checking with you throughout the game tonight.
Thanks so much.
Charlotte North for Team Marino in gold, Team Bosco in the purple. Game number 14 of 24 this season. It's the back end of the doubleheader earlier. Team Apuzzo 13-6 convincingly over Team Glynn. The officials, Ronnie Anton, Devin Holcomb, Erica Leslie, and Liz Brush. Folks, we're so glad you've tuned in. We are more than halfway home in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Allie Kennedy has the ball, working with Hannah Dorney and Grace Griffin through the midfield ranks. Each team with rosters of 14. You see the leaderboard up to the minute. Sam Apuzzo with a dazzling performance earlier today, climbing over Marino as North gets inside, not able to finish there. Ball turned away, netminder Britt Reed in the goal for Team Bosco. For every goalie save, you get 5 points on the leaderboard. Follow your favorites throughout the season. We are on the way to crowning a champion August 13th. You see the names and the numbers, the colors of the jersey numbers that the players are wearing this week.
And that's going to consistently change. Every player in a gold or purple jersey, they're going to continue to move up the leaderboard, whether it's through individual statistics or quarter-point wins.
On the go, McCone will keep it back behind the cage for Kenzie Kent. Kent operating, waiting for a roll dodge potentially against Ella Simpkins. Veteran defender staying with her, makes a good check there at the hip. Kent recovers though. Shot clock down to 10. McCool jitters inside from the angle. Did not convert on Marino. Shot clock's at 6. Izzy McMahon outside the 8-meter arc. You score from back there, you'll get 2 for the team, 16 for yourself. This is a shot clock violation and possession for Team Marino.
You know, defensively, you have to be happy with that. You're able to come up with a big stop against a talented offense that Bosco put together. So confidence building for the defense of Team Marino.
Kennedy picked up on the outside by McCool. Back behind the cage, Vanthoff working in. Turns the corner on the isolation. Fires! Reed made a good save in her midsection there. Britt Reed sharp in the outset.
One of the advantages of being tall, you have a greater arm length than any of those defensive players around you. Taylor Vanthoff, you saw she kind of wrapped her stick around that defensive player while making sure to not follow through in the defensive player's body. Incredibly important so that she doesn't draw a foul or a potential card in there. Again, height advantage can be a big thing, whether you're super tall or not as tall.
Can't go into the goal. Straightening up there. Marino made the denial. And Trenchard comes up with the ground ball. Marino and Reed expected to add heavily to their goalie point totals tonight. 2 of the top save players in all of Athletes Unlimited. Reed has been in business for 3 seasons. Taylor, in her 2nd season as a pro, she did pretty well as a rookie. She was season 2's Athletes Unlimited champion. Charlotte North on the move. North, selected in the first round of Monday's draft. Flips for Andy Aldave. North will play on the outside, shading her, the veteran O'Donnell. Here comes the early double. They bump it for Kennedy. Shot clock's at 18. Kennedy steps in. Weaves around McCone. Shot clock at 10. Kennedy in no hurry. Off the cut, the pass gets away from North. This is a turnover. Back to Team Bosco, and veteran defender Cookie Carr will play it ahead.
Matching the defensive effort, Team Bosco, a stellar stop against Team Marino. We saw the backdoor cuts, but they were all over those potential passes to Charlotte North.
Kenzie Kent will operate, share the ball with Marie McCool, slicing in, and then flattened by Kennedy. Point of emphasis that we heard about earlier in the day, Courtney, the officials are going to be looking for any sort of a cross-check that would displace an athlete.
And displaced, getting them out of that original path, knocking them over. You know, players want to make sure to keep the game safe. It's more physical here at Athletes Unlimited, just like any pro league, than what you see in the collegiate game.
Kenzie Kent turns, bluffs it over her shoulder. Shot clock's at 9. Izzy McMahon is a 2-point threat from outside that 8-meter arc. McCool wandering inside. She gets stick checked by Kennedy, and the ball comes up off the ground for Griffin. Still they fight for it, and out of the pack, it's Caroline Wakefield, the all-time leader in caused turnovers in Athletes Unlimited, sprinting ahead, looking for an offensive break. Going to the goal, bouncer, she scores! Wakefield, coast to coast.
Caroline Wakefield, she had a total mission. Off of the cause turnover from the defensive end, she was battling under pressure the whole length of the field. She had a lot of green in front of her. She had to use her speed, her prowess. Her eyes were up, she saw potential players, but defense not necessarily committing to her. So if nobody's gonna take charge and match with her, put a body on her, she's going right to goal. Caroline Wakefield, a defensive player for Team Marino, putting the first goal on the board.
Caroline scored a goal back in the inaugural season against Team Trainer. She gets on the board here. And for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspirations committed to planting 10 trees. Stay tuned throughout the season, see how many trees will be planted, thanks to Aspirations' support. The officials have heard a challenge.
Joe, and I assume they're challenging. I thought I might have seen Caroline Wakefield's foot go in the goal circle.
Did she run through the circle after the goal?
And I believe so. I was just excited for a defensive player to get on the board. But as we take a look at this, again, running through the swinging sticks, smart, what you want to do if nobody's touching you with your body. But she didn't quite tiptoe around. That right foot looks to have gone in the crease twice with one more look.
She's on the circle there. She's on the circle there, and maybe even inside. As the officials, led by Lynn Bowers, a table official, will be looking through replay angles. They have additional angles than what we can provide as well. Lynn Bowers is about to make the assessment.
The ruling on the field is overturned. There is no goal. It will be purple ball at the 50-yard line to start.
Courtney, it's the second time we've seen it, and both times this season it's been a defender who scored. Remember rookie Marge Donovan, who went in, scored on Marino, and then drove through the circle? Similarly, a defender here, Wakefield denied that strike.
You know, I get it. They're excited. They don't often have the opportunity to score. It's like they forget, wait, I can run through the crease on defense, but I can't on offense.
Izzy McMahon has the ball. McMahon, 2 in the purple. Team Bosco in purple. Team Marino in gold. As we've crossed the midway mark of the opening quarter, scoreless here in Sparks, Maryland. McCool rolling back against Griffin. Fires and scores! Marie McCool with a bullet.
Marie McCool taking matters into her own hands. Soon as she gets the ball from Alex Ost-Holman, a nice little look at Cage. She hesitates for a moment before she puts her team on the board.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Turned out to be a pretty chilly Thursday night. Team Bosco in front, thanks to a strike from Marie McCool. 1-0 advantage over the defending Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse champion, Taylor Marino. Folks having a great time here at USA Lacrosse HQ. Courtney, every Monday the captains get together. They draft new teams. Kenzie Kent was the first overall selection for rookie captain Abby Bosco.
You know, not surprised there. She's just so creative with and without the ball. Katie Detweiler, first rookie, first defender. She is just a lockdown style player that everybody wants on their team. On the defensive end, Livy Rosenzweig, it's because of her draw work. She does an excellent job of getting the ball into her stick, and then she also has that finishing capability or the ability to assist. Kaylee Waters, excellent goalkeeper, but the fact that we have Taylor Marino, Katie Glynn as captains, everybody realizes that they can take a little longer when selecting one.
Van Thoff and McCool making a big jump in the draft. Charlotte North, we're seeing her operate in this game. First time this season that she was selected in the top round. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo getting the better of Team Glynn, and we could share the MVP voting from the opener.
Sam Apuzzo, obviously captain of the team in orange. Every time she is on the field, we just have to talk about her because she is making a difference. Courtney Fortunato with a big game, 3 goals. She had a number of ground balls throughout the game as well, big time work. And then Lizzie Colson, that 3rd MVP, getting 15 points on the day, an assist out of transition, but 6 ground balls, 3 draw controls, a lot of hustle plays for her.
As we get set for the resumption of this opening quarter, we remind you there are 20 points on the line for the entire roster of the team that wins each quarter. 20 points per quarter, 45 for the game. McCone and Vanthoff meeting at the draw circle. Liz Brush, the official there, number 1, getting them set. Ball down, and it belongs to McCone, the co-chair of the Player Executive Committee. Lindsay McCone sharing those duties with Mira Shane. Mira Shane is the understudy to Taylor Marino this week. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Alex Ost-Holman finding McMahon off the roll dodge. She snapped that one wide. Backed up by Ost-Holman, closest to the ball wearing when it leaves the field on a shot. Maintains possession, this time for the team in purple. O'Donnell backpedaling. They'll circle it up and get it in the cross of Kenzie Kent. Kent going to the cage from down under there, blocked off by Marino, who read it well. Courtney, if I told you that Kenzie Kent had just 2 assists this year, would you be surprised?
Well, I wouldn't believe it until looking at that on the last board. Kenzie Kent, again, she can't just score goals, but she can assist the ball so well. And it's just a matter of her teammates finishing.
Gilbert on the go. Reed with a denial, and Britt comes storming out of the goal circle with it. Ridden there by Aldave and Kennedy. You have 20 seconds to clear the midline in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse as we hear the whistles blare out. Appears that was going to be a timeout taken there to maintain the possession. They were having a fear that they would not get across the midline.
You know, and I like to see the teams utilizing their timeouts. They have 1 per quarter, each of the teams. So when that occurs, number 1, you give yourself a little break. There's just 4 players per position, and that's a lot of running. I know it's cooler today, but when the temperatures are hot, you know, you got to utilize them, especially for your advantage.
Christy Foote is a facilitator for Team Bosco. She's the one who asked for the timeout. The officials cooperated. Slam ball coverage continuing tonight. Start of week 3. Schedule begins 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. They say it's part basketball, football, and hockey all rolled up into a cage with trampolines and then some. Check out Slam Ball tonight. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Taylor Cummings, Taylor Marino, the first 2 champions. Andy Aldave, a longtime fan, spectator of Athletes Unlimited, got her chance last year, late in the year, as an injury replacement. She's been in it from the beginning this time around, and we like what we've seen from her offensively.
You know, she's an excellent inside finisher. She likes to cut. She started that with her days at Notre Dame, 4 years there, and then she cruised on over to UNC, continued on with that play inside of the critical scoring area. When you have excellent timing, when you work well with others around you and kind of have that little connection, you will flourish if you're an inside cutter.
Just a bit more than 3 minutes with which to operate in the opening quarter. The goal from McCool has the team dressed in purple on the lead in the chase for those 20 points per frame. McCool looking to back it up now, working in against Garrett. Severe angle, shares it, on around it comes. McMahon puts a foot in the turf and fires. Marino with a save. Already over 100 stops this season. Ball down off the strong ride. It's a new 60-second shot clock for Team Bosco.
Joe, you don't often see that, knocking a pass down from Taylor Marino, but a little bit too quick for that outlet pass. She saw one of her teammates breaking out far, wanted to start that fast break as quick as possible, but Alex Ost-Holman with the cause turnover.
Kenzie Kent drawing a couple defenders. Swing it this way for McCool. Picked up on the perimeter by Allie Kennedy, her Team USA mate. McCool gets topside. Settles, will direct a little traffic. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 24. McMahon, who can stretch the D with the 2-point shot. She thought about it. float this one inside. That's a turnover. Looking for Holman. It came right to Taylor Marino. Thank you very much.
That's a plus 14.
Correct for the caused turnover. And believe it or not, it is Marino who leads the league this season in that category. Just one of the reasons she became the first player ever to go over 1,000 leaderboard points in just 2 weeks.
And that's probably one of her easier ones. Generally, she's intercepting, coming out of the goal circle to make that caused turnover attempt.
Courtney, it was amazing as Kennedy moves the ball, deflected there. Good defensive work on the outside by Courtney Taylor. Marino had better than 600 leaderboard points last week alone. Wood driving in, looking for the fast break. This bouncer, score! On the finish, it's Sammy Jo Tracy.
In game number 1 of the night, we saw another dribbler for Katie Glynn in goal this time. Taylor Marino on the receiving end of that. Speed from Kayla Wood out of the backside. Sammy Jo Tracy. She's always adding some flair. This time, a simple goal. Overhand shot, strong, consistent placement. Fast break. Again, defense starting this. You got to give credit where credit is due. Sammy Jo realizing that, pointing to her defense for causing that turnover as they have now extended their lead, and there's just 1:16 left. Low scoring first quarter. Nevertheless, 20 points still on the line.
Sammy Jo played with Marino's team in week 1, with Apuzzo's team in week 2, and she moved up 20 spots on the leaderboard from week 1 to week 2. McCool comes up with a draw control. She leads Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse all time with draw possession. Bosco, the captain, finding her playmaker, Kenzie Kent, in the final minute of the first. 20 points on the line for the team that wins the opening frame. McCool and Tracy have the team dressed in purple in the driver's seat for that. O'Donnell will share it. Team Bosco in no hurry now, late in the opening quarter. McCool finds McMahon. Jitterbugs to the outside. Kenzie Kent with a quick stick pass. Score! Alex Holman.
Team Bosco in purple, recognizing the zone defense of Team Marino. And it was no match for them. Quick ball movement, eyes up, teammates cutting. Izzy McMahon into the hands of Kenzie Kent. We just talked about how she doesn't have a ton of assists. Alex Holman, she is another one of those players who knows when and where to cut.
Kent will get 4 points for that helper. Holman will pick up 12 for the goal. She had a goal and 2 assists in her last game, as you could tell, bottom of the screen. Friends, everybody loves to rep Athletes Unlimited. You can too. Be sure to check out all the great gear, including the new Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse player name and number t-shirts this season. Go to shop.auprosports.com and get yours today. Vanthoff and McCone, regulars inside the draw circle so far tonight. Charlotte North leaping in the air to keep this one alive for her team. Dressed in gold, Taylor Marino's squad, down by 3 in the opening frame. McCool wrestles the ball away. And now Courtney Taylor, real fighter, playmaker on defense. With help from Kayla Wood. Wood says you need to be a very selfless individual to play defense at the top of this level at Athletes Unlimited. As the opening quarter comes to its end, Team Bosco bags 20 points apiece.
Team Bosco, they settled into their offense after that early goal and then no goal from Wakefield on Team Marino, and they are playing as a team, working the ball together, a lot of offense.
Part of being a champion in any Athletes Unlimited league, being able to assemble and lead these unique teams. Bosco seems like she's put together a real good squad. 3-0 over the defending champ, Team Marino. Wide-eyed young lacrosse fans seeing their favorites in action with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse presented by Aspiration. Team Bosco wins the opening frame and the 20 points with it by virtue of a 3-0 score. McCool, Tracy, and Ost Holman on the board. Folks, Saturday's PLL games, Archers and Atlas, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and ESPN+, followed by Whipsnakes and Chrome, only on ESPN+. All the games coming from historic Homewood Field, not far away here in Baltimore, Maryland. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor up in the booth. We're about to have a chair chat with ESPN lacrosse analyst Paul Carcaterra. Now, Carc, you go a ways back with Sammy Jo Tracy. What do you remember back from her when she was in 4th grade?
Joe, the biggest smile you've ever seen, full of energy, would not sit still in her seat, but one of my favorite students of all time. When I first got out of college at Syracuse, I wanted to be a high school coach, and I was a teacher before I got into broadcasting, and she was in one of my first classes, and I'll remember the first day she walked in to the class. She found out I was a lacrosse player. She was bragging about her dad, Dan, who played at Maryland, and we instantly made that connection. And I also was able to start a wonderful relationship not only with Sammy, but Dan, her father, was a defenseman at Maryland, and mother Cheryl, and younger brother Dan Jr. too. Some of my greatest friends for the last couple decades, and I'm just so fortunate that I was able to have Sammy Jo, and she was quite the character. Anyone who's on this AU tour and has spent time with Sammy, whether it's in high school in Bedford or at North Carolina in college, they know she's got the biggest heart possible. She is full of energy. She's hilarious, and she was the same way when she was 10 years old.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Sammy Jo, one of the funniest people that I know, world traveler. I can't keep up with her. I'm not even sure if her family can keep up with all the places she loves going. Kark, I know your daughter's here. You guys are evaluating play down on the field. I love to see that, the coach in you still, as well as the analyst. What are some things that you're seeing this game, maybe a little different from last?
You know, this game it seems like it's a way more back and forth kind of battle in terms of like the half field. I saw some more up and down out of Team Apuzzo last week or last game, but I think this game offers a little bit more settled and strategic type play. You saw Alex Oss-Holman's last goal off a beautiful field feed from Kenzie Kent. I think there's a lot more 6-on-6 structure with some ball movement, where last game I saw a lot more up and down kind of fast break action.
Just getting going here in the second quarter. Kennedy fires and scores. A sidewinder to beat Britt Reed for the first time tonight.
Allie Kennedy putting Team Marino on the board here. She's so quick and shifty as a Dodger. From right to left, getting her defensive turning player, their hips back and forth. That's when you know you got them beat. Kenzie Kent with the quick release, as she has put goal number 1, Team Marino. They're closing the gap, 3-1. Park, down on the field, how quick are these players? We can see it up here, and I know it's a different appreciation once you're at field level. You know,
I've been spending a lot of the summer watching my daughter play, 7th going into 8th grade club lacrosse, and there's some fantastic young girls who are playing the sport. When you come here and you watch lacrosse at the highest possible level in the women's game, the athletic ability is one, but the ball movement, Courtney and Joe, it's out of control. I mean, the initial dodger typically isn't good enough to beat the defense, so ball movement typically reigns supreme, and just the hyper speed type movement of all these players. And one thing I noticed too is how cerebral the offensive players are. Like, they know where the slides are coming. They're anticipating where that second slide is, and the vision to see through the defenses. It's amazing. And it's not really that big of a surprise when you see so many of these women are college coaches, have played on the national team, so they have their PhD in terms of surveying good offensive sets and good defensive sets when they're on that side of the ball.
A whole lot of communication required to do it. Team Bosco in purple has the 3-1 advantage. Allie Kennedy putting an end to a 3-point run. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. We're having a chair chat with Paul Carcaterra. Carc, where have you seen the women's lacrosse game experience the greatest growth?
I think it's in the offensive skill. You watch some of these players, the way that they shoot the ball, the way that they throw their fakes, the way that they have deception in terms of their feeding and their rolls and all of their dodging ability. You see that pass by Kenzie Kent there, just the the understanding of where the pressure is coming from. That's one thing in terms of the overall IQ. I've seen tremendous growth, but I think it's the skill. The stick skills are out of control. Some of the things that these players are doing is translating to the next generation too, because they continue to push the envelope.
From the bad angle, that one's ripped wide of the cage. The officials bringing play to a halt. We're going to have a player up situation here. A yellow card assessed.
Just a yellow card this time for Grace Griffin, number 12 in gold. As she exits the field, it's going to be a 6v5, but a free position shot from the 12. Oftentimes we've seen them hold back, wait for that sure thing, find the open players. We take one more look at this.
O'Donnell setting her feet from free position, 8 meters. Straight on against Taylor Marino. Does not elect to shoot. Izzy McMahon picked up on the outside by the rookie Hannah Dorney. Our chair chat continues with Paul Carcaterra. Carc, you make your living with a microphone attached to your head. Charlotte North is doing it in-game. How difficult do you think that would be back in your playing days?
Charlotte can handle it. I couldn't have. I have a little bit of ADHD. Oof, what a shot by Izzy McMahon. That's the type of play that I'm talking about, with just the way that the game's evolving with these outside shots. You know, Joe, Charlotte is such a student of the game, and she's so cerebral, and she quarterbacks an offense, and she really sees the next level of how, you know, the progression of plays are taking place. But to do it while she's playing, that's quite the ask.
We'll be asking her to do it all throughout the night here in this game between Marino and Bosco. Kayla Wood brings it along. And Paul, as the athletes continue along from season to season, what will they gain from an experience standpoint? We see Wood jogging off. Wood's a 3-year veteran of this league.
I think they understand what they're doing in their place in the sport, right? The commitment that they all have to spend a good portion of their summer to be here, to be kind of the trailblazers of the sport, and to give young girls and the next generation something to aspire to become, right? There's so many young lacrosse players out in the country that want to be the next Marie McCool, that want to be the next Alex Ost-Holman. There's just tremendous players, but the sacrifices they're making for the next generation, I think, stands and kind of separates from players in the past because of this opportunity and seizing this opportunity.
Kark, earlier we had talked about the difference between the men's game, the women's game, and what you see is more like the creators game, this game of Athletes Unlimited. Obviously this gold just occurred right here. Want to give credit where credit is due. Team Bosco, Marie McCool getting herself on the board. But talk about why this resembles that game so well.
Look at the last person who just scored, Marie McCool. She won't step off this field the entire game. I mean, the creators game was based off of playing the entire field of lacrosse and to be a multi-faceted type player, and these women do it better than anyone. I mean, the men's game, as much as I love the men's game, it's super specialized. A player like Marie McCool would either be kind of pigeonholed to be an offensive player or a defensive player. She's the ultimate weapon. She's one of the best midfielders in the world. She doesn't really come off the field at all. And I think that kind of resembles the roots of lacrosse. It also resembles the way lacrosse was played decades ago, when it wasn't specialized, when we didn't have just set, you know, draw control players or face-off players in the men's game. I just see that the women's game has stayed true to the functionality of the game, and the foundation that it was started on is way more prevalent in this version of lacrosse than any other.
Team Bosco had one possession of the last 5 draws prior to that one. You're talking about Marie McCool, Paul. She received her first lacrosse stick in 3rd grade. When did you introduce your daughter Payla to the sport?
Oh boy, super young. She probably was 2 or 3 years old when I first started throwing in the backyard with her, and it's been an amazing bond for the two of us, that we share a passion together, and we have so much fun. And you know, lacrosse is such a big part of her life. It's a big part of mine, and you know, there's obviously times where as an athlete it's stressful and there's pressure, but I always try to just check myself and remember that both my parents weren't athletes and didn't know much about the sport of lacrosse, and supported me as someone who had a passion, and I want to do the same. Even though it happens to be my passion as well. But it's just, it's an amazing bond to have as a father and a daughter, and I'm so proud of the way that she's able to to put effort into the sport, to have role models like these. I mean, these are the best role models a father could ask for.
McMahon to the cage, rattles that one off the post. Big rebound, stays alive for Team Bosco in purple.
Clark, many of these players have talked about the importance of playing multiple sports growing up. Kenzie Kent with the ball right now played 2 sports at the collegiate level, played in a Frozen Four countless times, as well as the Women's Lacrosse National Championship weekend. What other sports do you find bring good success for any lacrosse player?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you could bring so many different variables of certain sports. Basketball, it's obviously the body control and the way that you play with your hips, and hand-eye coordination of hockey, as Sammy Jo just has an incredible goal that I saw her doing that when she was young. That's an amazing backhand. I'll let you take that one, Courtney.
Hey, this is your former player here. Talk me through it.
Look, she is tough as nails, and this goal represents Sammy. And if you knew her parents, she's the perfect blend of Dan, who was defender at Maryland and had toughness to whack anyone or lower his shoulder, but also the finesse of her mother, who was a fashionista and always knew style. So that is a Tracy goal at its best. Has a blend of mom and a blend of dad.
Just showing off for her old 4th grade teacher. Clark, thanks very much. Best wishes this weekend. Sammy Jo Tracy with a pair of tallies. It's 5-1 for Team Bosco. A little bit more than 4 minutes to operate in quarter number 2. Folks, you can experience the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in person right here in Sparks, Maryland. Join us for Saturday's Dog Days of Summer Games, 2:30 and 5 p.m. Eastern, with the first 250 fans receiving an Athletes Unlimited collapsible dog bowl giveaway. Go to auprosports.com/tickets to get yours today. Enjoying this one tonight between Team Bosco and Team Marino. Abby Bosco, the rookie captain, her squad doing just fine, thank you very much. They've already banked the 20 points for winning the first, and they lead in the second, 2 points to 1. The athletes, very cooperative. We appreciate all the access we get from them. Alex Ost-Holman is wearing a microphone for us. It's time to go into the game, presented by Air National Guard.
One more. No, I don't want 6s. No. I do not want 6s.
No reason to psych ourselves out.
Yeah, no. Stay fresh. Well, I think we need to be more directive who we're starting on and getting through for you guys sooner. And because we're like moving it too fast, like it's like, let's just say like get it around on Lindsay or on Marie, so then we can already be there by the time you get the ball. And then just move on the backside. Yeah. Shoot that! Yes! Yes! All day!
Good job. Way to be confident.
All day! Yes.
Alex Ost-Holman, big smile on her face, always appreciates a good goal-scoring celebration. She had the last goal of the opening quarter for Team Bosco tonight. She's seen Marie McCool get her second, Sammy Jo Tracy also her second, bopping along to the music here as we get set to go in what is a 5-1 lead for the team dressed in purple. Taylor Vanthoff into the draw circle against Lindsay McCone. This has been a familiar pairing from the get-go. The officials awarding possession to Team Marino in gold. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo, a convincing win, 13-6 over Team Katie Glenn. Sam Apuzzo put up a 4-goal, 1-assist performance, and in the process was able to overtake Taylor Marino for the top spot on the leaderboard. We'll be crowning a champion on August 13th. Points ebb and flow on the leaderboard with every moment in Athletes Unlimited. As you see the board to the left of your screen, follow your favorites all throughout. Allie Kennedy ready to power in against Bosco. Skip it back behind the cage. Aldave for Kennedy. Kennedy walks in and scores. Allie Kennedy.
Allie Kennedy with a nice pop out feed from Andy Aldave. As soon as she's getting this ball, you notice off of that backside cut, quick change of direction, giving herself more space. You see the defensive players, they're cognizant, even though there's no shooting space, they cannot just stand right in front of the goal cage. That's why she took that extra little second before finishing her shot, waited till the defensive player got out of the way. Allie Kennedy closing the gap here, but I know from the looks on the faces of Team Marino, this is not what they had expected to be down, especially to a newbie captain at this point. But Abby Bosco showing she knows what she's doing in terms of picking players who work well together. And that's all it is, from draft to draft, week to week. How do you put players together who can gel quickly?
Allie Kennedy would love to be a singer. Right now, her teammates singing her praises. She has both goals for the team dressed in gold, Team Marino. Molly Garrett, who played collegiately at Michigan, slips it back behind the cage for Aldave. Another 6 set for Team Marino. Kennedy looking for the early hat trick. Picked up on the outside. Cookie Carr staring daggers at her. Vanthoff on the goal, rolls back away from the double. Charlotte North, good catch, halfway through the shot clock. North against Wood. Skip it on through. Vanthoff gets her hands free, had that shot blocked. The ricochet comes up for Cookie Carr, newly named head coach of the women's program at Towson. Carr going to the goal. Feed for Kent, drifting below goal line extended. Coming late, here's O'Donnell. Score!
Team Bosco answering back pretty darn quickly from the goal of Team Marino. Anything you can do, I can do better. Fast break from the defensive end, moving the ball quickly, finding that trail cutter. Slow break, run to perfection. Hit the ball at X, hit it up top. Katie O'Donnell embracing the contact, running through, continuing on the dodge, and they are just putting on a display of some offense.
12 leaderboard points for Katie O'Donnell thanks to the goal as she continues to exhort her troops. Folks, we remind you can play in the all-new Fantasy Pick'em League for free. Compete all season long. It's a chance to win an unlimited club gold membership and signed goalie gloves. Sign up today at auprosports.com/fantasy. (6-2) the count right now in favor of the team dressed in purple. They lead the second quarter alone 3 points to 2. 20 points available at the end of the frame for the team that leads the scoring in each quarter. Kenzie Kent peels away. She'll wait for offensive-minded subs to come on. Sammy Jo Tracy's had a hot hand in this opening half, a couple of goals. Izzy McMahon jogging into the formation now with less than 2 minutes to play.
Now I look at the offense out here. Izzy McMahon, Sammy Jo Tracy, Alex Ost-Holman, Marie McCool.
Kenzie Kent on her way down sent it wide. It's off of Wakefield and out of bounds. It'll be Team Bosco ball.
Those 4 players alone, incredibly close. So when you're close with players, you just have that natural connection. You don't have to wait a game or two until you get comfortable.
McMahon on the throwback for McCool. Off the split dodge. Here comes the help defensively. Well timed there by Dorney. The interior pass. This is sent wide by Kent at the end of the shot clock. Possession for Team Marino in goal.
Despite the fact that Team Bosco did not have a goal scored on that last one, they were able to generate shots, and I think that's a big difference maker. They're still able to get a look off, may not have been on goal. Then the violation for the shot clock occurred, but they are maneuvering the ball around the perimeter, making cuts, working well. Their offense is just flowing a little bit more seamlessly as opposed to the isolation dodges.
This is a key offensive trip for Team Marino. They can tie the quarter points here. Should they convert a single, they would win the quarter perhaps if they crank up a 2-point goal. "25 seconds remain. Quizzical look on the face of Molly Garrett. She's about to be awarded a free position shot.
So it looks like the referee called walling. You can't intentionally stand in the way to stop the attack from having a quality shot on goal.
Garrett going to the cage, sent it wide of Reed. That was another item that was listed in the points of emphasis earlier today when the officials met with the player executive committee, those players with their respective teams. Final 10 ticks. Britt Reed's going to pace back behind and conclude matters in the opening half. Team Bosco won the first quarter. Team Bosco wins the second quarter, 3 points to 2.
Team Bosco firing on all cylinders offensively. Been incredibly impressed with their defense as well. Some veterans, Kayla Wood, Kristen Carr, Abby Bosco, again, that captain, showing that she knows what it takes to put a quality team together that works well right from the start.
No set teams, folks. Fans can follow their favorites. There's a weekly draft. This is the first game of season 3, week 3, game number 14 of 24 overall. 6-2 for that young lady, the captain of the team dressed in purple. Alex Ost-Holman dancing her way to the lead. It's Team Bosco out in front. We're at the half on ESPN. Things have simmered down after 20 minutes of play with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse at Sparks, Maryland. 2 quarters complete with Team Marino and Team Bosco at the half. Taylor Marino, a terrific athlete. She proved it for all to see one summer ago on the lacrosse field. But her talents don't end inside the goal crease.
I actually was fortunate enough in my senior year of high school. I was a goalie for soccer and had quite a large kick, and our football coaches actually walked up to me and they were like, how would you feel about being the kicker on the football team? And so my senior year of high school, I spent the month of August practicing on how to kick a football because it's way different than kicking a soccer ball. It was such a cool experience. The guys were so welcoming and supportive. They basically treated me like a sister, so super protective of me on the field, and it was just a really awesome experience. It was just like one of those things where you never thought it was actually going to happen, and then one day they turn around and they're like, no, we were being so serious about it. It's such a cool and surreal moment to be obviously a girl playing on a high school football team.
Taylor, a football gridiron great. Cool stuff. Stay tuned, folks. There's more work to be done at the halftime break. When you return, it will be time to hear a few thoughts from rookie captain Abby Bosco. Thursday Night Lights with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, originating from USA Lacrosse HQ. We're halfway home in a battle between Team Marino and Team Bosco on ESPN. Defender Abby Bosco has made a terrific first impression in this her rookie season as a pro. Here she explains what her goals are for the week.
We're gonna have fun, and win. I hate losing so much, so just I think doing anything it takes to win, and even though it's only a short week, build that team chemistry, get comfortable with one another, and have fun being awesome.
She is awesome, no doubt. We still have a few minutes to spare before the start of the third quarter. Courtney Martinez-Connor joins me on the other side of this TV timeout. We will relive some of the best moments from this game between Team Marino and Team Bosco. lacrosse players working on the shooter tutor here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. 3 + 3 = 6 for Team Bosco. Just 2 points on the board for Team Marino. Bosco in charge after 20 minutes. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. So those 2 measly points on the board, Courtney, for Team Marino. What was it that Team Bosco's defense did so well?
You know, I think they're winning their matchups defensively. There's a lot of isolation dodges from Team Marino, and they're sending quick slides. They're just shutting it down. So they need to do something else if they're going to prove successful on the offensive end of the field.
The team dressed in purple, Team Bosco, shooting up a storm in the opening 20 minutes, led by Marie McCool.
Marie McCool is so shifty and cool with her moves. I like to watch her on the offensive end of the field. She's very relaxed. Sammy Jo Tracy with her shot placement, oftentimes adding flair. Izzy McMahon, Kenzie Kent getting involved. They're just moving the ball well. Alex Ost-Holman on that last one. McMahon to McCool again. These are all the best of friends, and you can tell with their connection on the field. And there's that flair that we're used to seeing from Sammy Jo Tracy. One more tacking on. Katie O'Donnell getting involved. Fast break from the opposite end of the field. They're just scoring in a lot of different ways.
They look very comfortable on offense. They are shooting and out-shooting Team Marino by 10 to this point as we break down the numbers.
As you look at those numbers, 6 goals on the board for Bosco with just 7 shots from Team Marino. You got to shoot the ball more, but in order to shoot the ball, you have to have better opportunities. So I do hope that they start to move the ball, share it, to get those better offensive looks. That way they can shoot a little bit more.
Temperatures in the mid-Atlantic region for the last few weeks have been near 100. This is a rarity, bundling up on a Thursday night with temperatures now in the high 60s, low 70s. 6-2 for Team Bosco. We go to the third right after this. Abby Bosco there, center of the screen, getting the hang of things as a first-time captain, doing very well after 20 minutes. Team Bosco has a 6-2 advantage over Team Marino, and they banked the 40 points. 20 each for the first and second. And as a result, when you look at the in-game leaderboard just for this game alone, Courtney, it's dominated by Bosco and her mates.
Dominated with the defense causing turnovers, attackers scoring goals, and then 40 points for every single player on the team in purple because they won both the first and second quarters. All of that incredibly important if you are looking to individually move yourself way up the leaderboard.
Charlotte North mic'd up for us tonight on ESPNU. Charlotte, what adjustments would you like to see in the second half?
I think we're looking to possess the ball a little more, win some draw controls, and then have that translate on the offensive end and get some more shots off. I think we want to let it fly a little bit more and have a more high volume shooting output on the offensive end.
Charlotte, we had one of your buddies, Paul Carcaterra, on the sideline. He can't wait to see your team in action. What are some words of wisdom that you guys talked about in the huddle?
Oh my gosh, we're just looking for a spark right now on our team, and I think that's going to come, from the first whistle, and we want to throw the first punch in this quarter for sure.
You're usually the one to provide the spark. Go get him, 88. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Thanks.
Draw time. Second quarter unfolds. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, I'm Joe Beninati. We're going to have Maria Trivalpiece with us on Saturday. Doubleheader action Saturday and Sunday coming up with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This is Season 3, Week 3. If you're just tuning in tonight, Bosco's team in purple. Couple of goals from Marie McCool, couple of goals from Sammy Jo Tracy. 6-2 advantage over the gang in gold. That's Team Marino, the defending Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse champion. In the nets for her team, tallies from Allie Kennedy twice, and that's all she wrote for Team Marino. 6-on-6 at the offensive end. Back behind the cage, Sammy Jo Tracy turns, matched up with Emma Trencher. Shot clock's at 15. McMahon back behind the cage. Kenzie Kent slithers her way topside. Shot clock's at 7. Kenzie snapped that one wide of the goal. Bringing it off the end line, and that's going to do it for the shot clock violation. Scotty Rose Brownie awaiting at midfield, and she had to go off of her cross and out of bounds, so it goes right back to Team Bosco.
Joe, I believe this is a cause turnover for Cookie Carr. As soon as Scotty Rose Brownie got possession of the ball, she was ready to check right from the start. Veteran play right there. Wait till your attacker gets the ball, your stick is ready, and go for it.
Cookie Carr giving it one more go in Athletes Unlimited. There was some thought that she was going to retire last year as McMahon sweeps in and fires, rejected by Marino. Carr said, though, that after the season of 2022, her mind was in a good place, her body was in a good spot, and she came back for another kick at it. You look at the leaderboard left side of the screen, find your favorite player. We'll be crowning a champion on August 13th. Kennedy on the move already with 2 on the board tonight. Team Marino needs to find a spark, needs to get something to click offensively, as we were discussing a few moments ago with Charlotte North.
They have the speed in the midfield to do it in transition.
Kennedy, the hat trick. A worm burner that beats Reed.
Or they can just put the ball in the hot hand, who's Allie Kennedy wearing number 42. The isolation dodges continue on. Allie Kennedy, not a lot of angle. Britt Reed getting a little piece of this. However, too much mustard on it from Allie Kennedy as she has all 3 goals for Team Marino. And we haven't really found that ball movement that we see for Team Bosco. Once that clicks for Team Marino, could be more trouble for Bosco, but this time it's all Kennedy.
Allie Kennedy spent her first couple of weeks this season on Team Britt Reed. She had a hat trick in week 1 against Team Mastriani. She has one tonight. She has goals in 5 of her 7 games this season. Charlotte North enters the picture at the draw with Lindsay McComb. Charlotte said the first step was getting possession off the draw and then working through some extended offensive time. Let's see if she can pick up the first installment here. Ball down, and Kayla Wood, always quick to the ground ball, gets the 2 points for draw possession, draw control. And away comes Team Bosco. The defenders Courtney Taylor, Kayla Wood, Kristen Carr, and Abby Bosco wearing purple. Things get set up quickly. Marie McCool has it up top. Kenzie Kent look inside, quick stick score! In a flash, it happens for Alex Ostholman.
Again, you got to give credit where credit is due. The incredible ball movement. Marie McCool, Kenzie Kent, Alex Ostholman. It doesn't get any better than that. Ball movement plus foot movement. They're cutting. They're maneuvering in ways that's just making it incredibly difficult for the team in gold to match. Faster the ball moves, the faster their feet move, the harder it is to keep track of them.
Alex Ostholman catching her breath. Points in 4 of her last 5 games. She moved 20 spots up on the leaderboard from the end of week 1 to the end of week 2. Got a couple of goals on the board tonight in a 7-3 lead over Team Marino. I remember Alex Ostholman's first ever Athletes Unlimited lacrosse game. All she did was score 5 times.
She times those cuts so well inside. She knows when and where to be. The ball is put exactly where she's going, not where she once was. Her teammates, and I think Kenzie Kent kind of heard us talk about she's had 2 assists on the night as well.
Neat moves from North. North was trail checked there. Worked over on the perimeter. Possession stays with the Team Marino. Get it set for Grace Griffin. Here comes the early double from Carr. She keeps it hot. Wood slid perfectly into that helping spot, and now it's a fast break for Team Bosco. McCool going to the goal. Answered. Marino turned it away, and we get a fresh 60-second shot clock for Team Bosco in purple.
Joe, I remember the leaderboard was tight. Marino was a little bit behind Apuzzo. Now at this point, I feel like she's already had a couple saves. But this is how the leaderboard works. You can do well individually, but if your team is not winning, if you are not getting MVP points as well, you will not move up as quickly. And that's how things are leveled out.
Team Marino has lost the first 2 quarters tonight. Trenchard for Growney. And that's picked off by Britt Reed, knee high. End to end, back we go. That pass is too tall for McCool. Wakefield says thanks, and she'll find Hannah Dorney. Dorney said they had a saying at Notre Dame when she was there. Practice is like recess. The teams will practice on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, maybe squeeze in a Friday practice as well. Hannah likes to have fun on those days. North inverts, cuts under, and hits the post. Charlotte North had Reed beaten, but it hit the iron. Round ball for Cookie Carr.
But I like that Charlotte's trying different things, dodging from different areas. She had everyone beat. The first defensive player as well as the slide, just the post, the goalkeeper's best friend.
Sammy Jo Tracy, a couple of goals in the opening half, one of which extremely highlight worthy. Kenzie Kent's been in a feeding mood tonight. Here she calls her own number. Marino kicked it out. Closest to the ball when it leaves the field. This one stays in for Lindsay McCone. The shot clock settles at 22 right now. McCool against Garrett. Here comes the help from Dorney. Ostholman, always a good feeder. Sneaks from down under, sent it wide. They battle for the loose ball. Trenchard came up with the scoop, then had it knocked out of her cross, and possession belongs to O'Donnell, but her pass is on the end line and out of bounds. Less than 4 minutes to go, third quarter. The third quarter score is level 1 apiece. The team that wins the third quarter will get 20 points for all 14 players on its roster. If we're tied, those 20 would carry over and make the fourth work 40. Scotty Rose Growney peeking in against Cookie Carr. Kennedy, who has the 3 goals for Team Marino. Allie waits for a cutter, then calls her own number and fires again. That one rattling around the pipe and out. It should be Team Marino ball with the Charlotte North hustling it down on the sideline. She sprints away from another former BC Eagle and Courtney Taylor. North, tracked down by 2, fires on the run, she scores! Charlotte North.
A great individual effort from Charlotte North. She's the one who ran the ball out to the sidelines, keeping possession with Team Marino in goal. Charlotte North from downtown, an incredible dodge as she has given the lead to Team Marino here in the third quarter.
Round and round. And they're off.
We see you, little one. We know who you're rooting for. Folks, you can join the Unlimited Club as an Unlimited Club member, receiving a lacrosse gold box. The box includes a Taylor Cummings bobblehead, a hoodie, and more. Limited quantities are available, so go for gold today at auprosports.com/membership. In this one between Team Bosco and Team Marino, it is Taylor Marino's squad that has the lead in the third in the final 3 minutes of the frame. Overall, Team Bosco, a 7-4 advantage. Players always helping us with access on the field. We could take you into the game now with Alex Ostholman.
Shoot that. Yes! Yes, Andy! Let's go!
Let's go! Hey, way to go!
Yeah. Push it every time. Hell yeah. Good look on that. Great look. Great look. Yeah, just talking. Let's go. Way to listen. Hey, let's go.
So fucking good.
Hey.
Hey, I just
Good
tried
job.
to figure out you're right. That's fine.
Yeah. Great job. Way to keep playing until the end.
Yeah.
Great job.
Great job,
Hey,
guys.
confidence. You got it. Let's go.
The power of positive thinking inside that huddle. Alex Ostholman giving Sam Fiedler a thumbs up. Fiedler watching Ostholman go to work with 2 goals and an assist in this one. There are 56 players in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Alex Ostholman ranking 32nd, hovering around 500 points overall. Taylor Marino began this week as the leader. She and Sam Apuzzo are wrestling for the top spot. But Marino, Courtney, the first player ever in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse to go over 1,000 points and need only 2 weeks to do it.
You know, she's able to do that because she does so many things on the field, makes saves, causes turnovers, has even had an assist off of a really big outlet clear. She understands the importance of competing well and then getting those all-coveted MVP points as well.
Off this draw, the officials are going to award possession to Team Bosco in purple. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third. Team Marino leads the frame 2-1. You win 20 points for everybody on your roster when you win a slice of the quarters. 45 points for the overall win. The current leaderboard, left side of the screen, Marino and Apuzzo, back and forth they go.
Marino has overtaken Apuzzo. Apuzzo playing earlier tonight with her team in orange. They blanked out the opponents, winning every single quarter.
Great shot there, a high heat release from McMahon.
And Team Bosco, they are just unwilling to go away. They have evened things out here in the third quarter. It's tied 2-2. So they are stopping Marino from potentially earning this third quarter 20 points. Again, the ball movement, I think, is what is separating the team in purple from that in gold. Izzy McMahon catches it. She's turning her hips, involving her entire body in this power shot. And you see her, McMahon, as she heads to the sideline celebrating.
Izzy with that right wrist tape job. It goes back to her days at Army. She did that because she had to cover up a tattoo. Izzy then moved along to the University of Southern California, the Women of Troy, 3 times a 40-goal scorer there. And you can see why with that lethal high shot. 8-4, Bosco doubling up Team Marino. Points are level at 2 apiece in the third. Still 2:20 to operate. Caroline Wakefield in her third season. Crossfield for Emma Trenchard. She'll chase it down. Taylor Marino made sure to put a number of Tar Heels on her roster this week, especially her mates who are guarding her defensively. Speaking of UNC Tar Heels, this is another in Scotty Rose Growney. Sweeping from the top. Wood there. North working in. North fires. That one goes wide of the cage.
Obviously, Courtney Taylor has been matched up against Charlotte North consistently throughout this entire game, making it difficult for her to get close to the goal. Love, that's actually how Courtney got to BC when she was at Temple. It was a matter of her matchup with Charlotte.
Shot clock violation here against Team Marino gives the ball back to Team Bosco in purple. A chance for them to claim the third quarter now as Britt Reed will advance the ball. Get a whistle. Bosco, Wood, Taylor, and Carr, the defenders in front of Britt Reed tonight.
Yellow card.
And a card has been assessed to Scotty Rose Growney.
The head. It is a 1-minute releasable penalty.
So this is player up for Team Bosco.
So we watch a replay of this, the ride, the stick right to the face. We see Bosco handling it well, running through it, but that is an immediate yellow. Any stick to the head, the face. So this is going to be a man-up situation for the team in purple, Bosco, as they are just continuing on with their offensive prowess, that quick ball movement, the cuts, sharing the rock.
Fiedler on the outside now. Kenzie Kent motioning for a cutter, works in against 2 defenders. Player up for Team Bosco in purple. O'Donnell sets up McMahon straight away. McCool back for McMahon. Interior pass, quick stick down to the deck, and there's a whistle and a foul inside the 8-meter as Fiedler was badgered all the way. Sam Fiedler, a 1,000-point scorer in high school basketball. Gonna get the chance now from free position against Taylor Marino. You watch it unfold from the end zone angle. Fiedler set, passes it off. Kent sent it wide. Final 20 seconds of this third quarter with a frame level at 2 goals apiece. Inside pass, crossed up O'Donnell. One-hand shovel, score! A fabulous goal for Kenzie Kent.
Joe, one man's junk is another man's treasure. With a man-up opportunity, a missed pass inside, but Kent picking up the ball. Her eyes are always on the goal, and this is what I love to watch from her. She's always thinking of, how can I finish this in a shot? Unconventional, backhanded. Her left hand going down the right alley, but she finds a way, always.
She did get a second hand on that to get more power on the shovel, and in the process, more than likely, just stole the third quarter for Team Bosco, attempting to sweep Team Marino. It's a 3-2 lead in the third, 9-4 overall, with perhaps one more draw to come. McCone rakes it loose. It went right to Griffin. Griffin looking for Charlotte North. North bowling past the defender. Makes the feed to Allie Kennedy. Kennedy fires, but she was trail checked, and that'll do it for 3 quarters. Team Bosco does win the third frame. 3 more goals. 3-2 to win the third.
Team Bosco just doing their job, not just on the offensive end, but you got to credit their defense. They are making it very difficult to get any quality shots off for the team in gold. Their quick movements, they're accelerating, they're on the hands, they're closing the gap so fast. So defense just as much doing their job as the offensive side for the team in purple.
This Thursday night, back end of the doubleheader. First of 3 games this weekend for the new captain, Abby Bosco. And her mates in purple, looking strong on top after 30 minutes. Folks, the summer soccer schedule continuing Saturday on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. A La Liga doubleheader from Oracle Park in San Francisco, starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Real Betis taking on Real Sociedad. Then Atletico Madrid squaring off against Sevilla. Another great night of soccer for you to come. In Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse tonight, 9-4 at the end of 3 quarters. A clean sweep for Team Bosco, much in the way that Team Apuzzo swept the opener of our doubleheader. We've got 10 minutes left to play with Team Bosco in charge. For every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspirations committed to planting 10 trees. Coming into the weekend, 76 assists were accredited. That means 760 plus trees with the assists, so we see good feeding all around tonight.
I think this is a large part of why Team Bosco is so successful. Kenzie Kent with a couple assists on the night for the team in purple, sharing the ball. And there's oftentimes hockey assist. Is that some extra trees that are planted?
We'd have to talk to somebody about that. I'll have to get somebody on the line before they agree to it. Kenzie Kent having a good night, advancing up the leaderboard with 86 points. I think back to the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited. She had 23 assists in that campaign. Now, then the season was 15 games long, but what was so debilitating, 32 turnovers. Ouch.
And that's because she takes a lot of risks. As a feeder, you want to try and hit those cutters inside. It doesn't always match up, or defense makes a great play. However, this year, there haven't been that many turnovers for her in terms of feeding that ball inside. So whether it's because players are catching it more or defense isn't knocking it down and her team is getting second and third looks, that most definitely helps her not go down farther on the leaderboard.
Charlotte North wanders her way in and snaps it wide. Backed up on the end line by Andy Aldave. Aldave, a sneak attack, Britt Reed was waiting for that at the end of the line. Playing goal this week for Team Bosco. Bosco, the 18th different captain in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse history, the 6th different captain in this season alone. Joe Beninati along with Courtney Martinez-Connor. Tip of the cap to all the men and women in the technical crew as we approach the top of the hour with you on ESPNU. Second of 2 games today. Team Bosco out in front. Team Apuzo, a comfortable win earlier over Team Katie Glenn. Team Bosco squares off with Team Apuzo 2:30. You can see that Saturday on ESPN2. Team Marino next in action against Team Glenn. That's a 5 o'clock start Saturday on ESPN+. McMahon off the hitch. Play it this way, O'Donnell. Front swing behind the back shot from Sammy Jo Tracy went wide. Kenzie Kent looking for that 2-point operation from below the goal line. Nothing there. Marino dynamic again between the pipes. Finds Grace Griffin, and back comes Team Marino in goal. Allie Kennedy has 3 of the 4 points on the board for this team. Charlotte North, the last person to strike. 2 minutes deep in the 4th. Taylor keeping tabs on North. 2-person game around the screen set by Kennedy. Shot clock's at 30. Charlotte North on the back pedal. Rose Growney fires and scores! A heat-seeking missile to the corner from Scotty Rose Growney. A beautiful shot.
Joe, I like to see some different looks from Team Marino, and I'm seeing a lot of the 2-man game. How can they get the matchup between Charlotte North, Courtney Taylor, off? They moved it to Marie McCool, so everybody knew they were going to have to slide early. We saw Courtney Taylor slide. That set up the isolation right there. Scotty Rose Growney, we know as soon as she got the ball, a lot of time, a lot of room, because everybody, their eyes were on Charlotte North. So she has the ability to create opportunities for others just from a mismatch change.
Scotty Rose, with a specialty in the shooting department. She played her first 2 weeks with Team Reed. Right there, she just overpowered her former captain to make this a 4-point game. First goal on the board in the 4th in the chase for those 20 points that are available for whichever team wins the quarter. Officials tonight, Ronnie Anton, Devin Holcomb, Erica Leslie, and Liz Brush giving the ball to Team Marino in gold. Ella Simpkins was on the run, and the officials say, no, hang on a second. And there is a card coming out. Going to be player up here for Team Marino. Lindsay McCone will have a seat.
Number 46, purple, is issued a yellow card for a dangerous play with the stick and the slash. It's 1 minute yellow card releasable.
Player up opportunity for the team in gold as we rewatch this. Coming out of the backfield, Simpkins with the speed. And we saw that over-the-head check. Anything that looks incredibly egregious, the referees are going to call. They obviously want to keep the game as safe as possible. No shooting space, but anything that looks excessively dangerous will always be called. Again, those points of emphasis.
Player up opportunity here. Scotty Rose Growney's pass is too high for Grace Griffin. Cookie Carr will bring it back in with 7 minutes to go in regulation time. 6 of the first 12 games this season in Athletes Unlimited were 1-point decisions. Earlier today, a blowout for Team Apuzo, and right now Bosco has the advantage by 4 on Team Marino. As they fence in along that sideline, it comes up for Team Bosco and Kenzie Kent. Sharing the ball with Sammy Jo Tracy, who's been at her creative best tonight. Going to the goal, split dodge there, bounce shot, little change of pace over top of the cage. McCool with a ground ball. Shot clock is at 15. McCone gets it in gear on the flip with McMahon. Pressure comes from Kennedy. McMahon fires. That one's off the outside of the frame. The officials say new shot clock. Ball down. Dorney playing hockey with it on the end line. Little field hockey work as the whistle comes. Possession from the officials for Team Bosco. McCool driving out of the pack. Marie McCool on the board twice already in this one, helping Team Bosco to the 4-point advantage.
Joe, we see the team in purple, Team Bosco, slowing things down. They know as of right now they need to even things out in the fourth quarter. They've won the first 3.
Kenzie Kent on the fly. Get it right back. Shifting gears down low. That one didn't go, and Kennedy comes up with the ground ball in transition for Team Marino. It's a 1-0 score in the fourth for the team in gold, thanks to that rip from Scotty Rose Growney a few moments ago. Griffin's pass to the inside is blocked. O'Donnell was there along with Kayla Wood.
This is going to be an offsides call for Team Bosco. Too many players on the defensive end. It's going to be a man-up opportunity now for the team in gold. Team Marino with another opportunity
Number
to
13,
score.
purple
They've
is
scored
offside
the
for the
first
green
goal.
card, releasable for 30 seconds.
So you hear the offside call. Player up for 30 seconds. With 5 minutes left. Kennedy will circle it up. Griffin. Then Dorney. They change the formation. That pass is sky high, however. And a turnover back to Team Bosco.
It's turnovers like that that's plagued Team Marino. They've scored the first goal of every quarter. Obviously, the very first one of the game was taken back. But quarters 2, 3, and 4.
Good ride here from Team Marino. You have 20 seconds to clear the midline. Down to 3, and they just do get it across. And now get into the offensive move. McMahon, shuffle it, quick it inside. There's Kenzie Kent. Beautiful ball movement.
Defense translates into offense. Captain Bosco talked about the defense doesn't always get the glory, but they should. She says, you're rewarded for the little things that can turn into goals. Sharing the ball, working as a team. Team Bosco putting on an absolute display.
Learn more about our organization at www.athletes.com.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Young fans watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse action unfold, we remind you about Saturday's PLL games. Archers and Atlas squaring off 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and ESPN Plus, followed by Whipsnakes and Chrome only on ESPN Plus. All the games originating from Homewood Field on the campus of Johns Hopkins University nearby in Baltimore. So, on a night when the temperatures have cooled, Kenzie Kent's offensive game has heated up. A couple of assists, a pretty goal, and along the way, a 10-5 lead for Team Bosco.
Kenzie Kent, always so electric with her stick. The amazing things she can do to score goals, but right now it's her ability to see the field in front of her. She has quite the connection with Alex Ost. Very similar goals back to back. And then one more time in transition. As that ball is moving around, she knows when and where to cut. She says, I can score too.
Kenzie Kent, another multi-goal game for her. She has multi-goal games in 5 of her first 7. Almost 100 leaderboard points tonight, climbing the charts. We'll be keeping your attention on the leaderboard as we move along. This is game 14 of 24, so we're past the midway mark on the way to crowning a single individual champion on August 13th in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. 4 players, the top 4 on the leaderboard, will receive medals as we remind you about the doubleheaders to come this weekend.
I'm excited to see the Team Bosco versus Team Apuzzo on Saturday on ESPN2. 2 high-powered offenses matching up against one another. And then my other biggest favorite matches, the very end, Team Apuzzo versus Team Marino. Those are the top 2 leaderboard point getters. Taylor Marino, Sam Apuzzo, they always put up such a fight.
If I'm not mistaken, it'll be the 5th straight Sunday that those two have squared off, Apuzzo and Marino. And usually it's Sam Apuzzo who's been in the win column as Taylor Marino battles to defend her Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse title. Joe and Courtney with you, final 4 minutes of this one. The most recent goal from Kenzie Kent, her second on the game, has given Team Bosco 10 points. McMahon has been flying in this first of 3 games this weekend. O'Donnell turns the corner. Marked there by Griffin. Courtney, when do you start taking the air out of the ball if you're dressed in purple? Slow it down here or not?
You know, I think when you're in offensive flow as they are, as long as they're just moving the ball well, waiting for those perfect opportunities, there's no need to slow it.
Ostholman with a feed. O'Donnell's quick stick denied by Marino. 5 points for every goalie save, and back comes Allie Kennedy jetting into the offensive end. Kennedy lets it fly. Britt Reed to a knee to make that stop.
Those are the offensive possessions that are a little deflating. All of that hard work, but it's all over, said and done in a matter of seconds. Team Marino just not taking a ton of time on the offensive end of the field right before their defense has to play a long set again. It just really seems like Bosco has been in large control of this game, having a lot of possession of the ball. We looked at a time difference between the 2 teams.
Under 3 minutes left in the 4th. The scoreboard in the 4th frame is 1-1 in the chase for those 20 points. The bouncer that's sent wide from McMahon. It'll be Kenzie Kent to bring it in off the sideline, closest to the ball on a shot. Where and when it leaves the field in lacrosse gets possession. Bosco in purple with Kent on the move. Bring it for O'Donnell. She'll skip it on through to McCool outside the 8-meter arc. You score from behind it, you'll get 2 points for the team and 16 for yourself. Wakefield wisely rolls it into the circle for Marino. And now Team Marino in goal has to get going. Trailing by 5 with just over 2 minutes left.
Joe, it's still tied here in the 4th quarter, 1-1. So they do have an opportunity to win this 4th quarter if they just can hold on to the ball, get a good look at Cage. But they have been struggling just to get shots on goal.
Team Marino trying to avoid being swept. Team Apuzzo swept 4 quarters earlier today. North lets it fly. And Britt Reed has been laser locked on that lacrosse ball. Britt Reed, outstanding net minding for Team Bosco. Former all-world performer for Team England. Remember, her late father grew up in England. She still has 3 siblings in England, 2 in New Jersey. Ostholman going to the goal. It's been a good night for Alex. Work it here. O'Donnell has room, and she rips one upstairs.
Katie O'Donnell with the last goal for Team Bosco. Ostholman to Sammy Jo Tracy. A lot of time with that ball in her stick as she is winding up. She's sighting where she wants to shoot it. Katie O'Donnell with an absolute bomb, and no defensive players anywhere near her to step in front, put a body on her, slow her down. That's tough to match if you are in goal as Taylor Marino.
She says, I'm here because of my mom, Mom Jen, the longtime lacrosse official. 9 multi-goal games in the pro career for Katie O'Donnell and Athletes Unlimited. 11-5, Team Bosco is cruising down the stretch now with just 1:16 to go and leading the 4th quarter. The gang in purple 2-1, trying to sweep all 4 frames in this game. Lindsay McCone's done a nice job in terms of draw controls. You get 2 points for the draw possession on your leaderboard tally. Marie McCool is in absolutely no hurry now. There's only a 14-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And Abby Bosco is about to win her first game as a captain in Athletes Unlimited.
It all comes down to who you draft, how quickly you get to know one another on the field, and Abby Bosco has proven that she knows how to put players together who know one another and who can excel together.
Timeout taken. Team Bosco taking the timeout. Facilitator Christy Foote. Think helper, advisor, organizer on draft day when we say facilitator. Christy, 2 times an All-American at Notre Dame. Team Marino's facilitator is Catherine Conway, a Boston College grad. 11-5 for Team Bosco. No worries for them tonight. We remind you about our slam ball coverage. Continuing tonight, the start of week 3 on that schedule. Comes your way 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN2 and ESPN+. So they say, part basketball, football, and hockey in a cage, plus trampolines. Go get them. Slam ball tonight. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse winding to its conclusion. These 2 teams all gathered round. In the fourth quarter, Courtney, 2-1, favor the team in purple.
You know, if you're Team Marino right now, you just have to get out, pressure the ball. The loss is already here. They can't come back and win this game, but if they cause a turnover and can just at least have a shot attempt on goal for a 2-pointer, there's a possibility that you can win the quarter still. So rather than sit back, I'd like to see them out and press, and that looks like what they're about ready to do with a double team on ball.
Charlotte North and Team Marino, they get Team Glenn Saturday, 5 p.m. on ESPN+. You can see that one. Team Bosco gets Team Apuzzo, 2:30 p.m. on ESPN2, coming up on Saturday. Marie McCool advancing away from the double team. Van Thoff turns her back towards Kennedy. In the final 20 seconds of this one, if I'm playing keep away, I want McCool on my team. She runs into a triple. They give the ball back to Marino with just 8 seconds left. Garrett will advance. Not enough time, not enough firepower. This one is in the books for Team Bosco by the final of 11-5.
Abby Bosco said she doesn't like to lose, and that is apparent as she has led her team to a big victory over Taylor Marino and her team. The team in gold is the team who has the player with the most leaderboard points, and Bosco has just unseated them for their first loss of the weekend.
Courtney with this impressive performance by the team dressed in purple. You would imagine 1 through 10, look at all the purple as far as the in-game leaderboard in this one.
They won every single quarter as well as the overall game. That's 20, 40, 60, 80 points, plus the 45 for the win, plus their individual efforts. And this does not even factor in the MVP points, which you gotta look at players like Sammy Jo Tracy, Alex Ostholm, Kenzie Kent. They did outstanding in terms of individually on the field.
Winning this one by the final count of 11-5 for Abby Bosco. 161 points for the in-game leader, 1,100 now for the total leader, and it remains Taylor Marino. But as you said, Court, there are MVP votes to come. Marino and Apuzzo, a familiar duo at the top of the table.
You know, nobody's going to overtake Sam Apuzzo or Taylor Marino tonight, but Sam winning each and every quarter, Taylor's team losing each and every quarter, the gap is closed. And this is why it's so exciting to watch, not just those individual efforts, but how the team does as a whole, because every single thing matters.
23 points separating them right now. Last season, it was Marino outlasting Apuzzo after week 4 by all of 16 points. It came right down to the very wire, as we are now in week 3 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Sammy Jo Tracy was up to her old tricks tonight, Courtney. She has a lot of fun out there on the field, especially when she can show off around the goal.
Sammy Jo Tracy, she brings a lot of fire to the field, always has a smile on her face, engaging with those around her, a lot of creativity. She has fun. Most importantly, she joins us right now.
Nice job, 13. Nice job. What was the key tonight?
Thank you. Our key was definitely our team play all around. Everybody was a threat, and we were building off each other.
Sammy Jo, I saw you prior to the game talking with your old 4th grade teacher, Paul Carcaterra. What did that mean to see him on the sideline?
He has been an idol of mine for as long as I can remember, and definitely the reason I have these stick skills. He is super creative and one of the best to ever play.
Sammy Jo, new captain Abby Bosco, a rookie in the captain's position, is not that often seen with Athletes Unlimited. By my count, only 4 players really have ever done it. How did Abby handle that role tonight?
Abby has been unbelievable. She's taken this captainship and run with it. She is a great leader. She builds everybody up, and everybody wants to play hard for her.
Sammy Jo, looking ahead for the rest of the weekend, you guys have set the bar high. How do you continue on?
We just need to keep building off and getting used to playing with each other and just creating more highlights and sharing the ball.
Sammy, I'm going to borrow those gloves if it's this cold on Saturday. Thanks very much for tuning in with us.
Thank you. Have fun. Bye.
Sammy
Thank
Jo
you.
Tracy and her gang, Team Bosco, a winner tonight by the final of 11-5. That's why Abby's in such a good mood. Folks, tune in Saturday, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. We've got more Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We'll see Bosco and Apuzzo in that one. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanking you so much for your time. Team Bosco, hands up, 11-5 winners.